Two top Kenyan officials have resigned their posts after the International Criminal Court said they must stand trial for crimes related to Kenya's 2007 post-election violence. Francis Muthaura is stepping down as civil service chief, while Uhuru Kenyatta is resigning as finance minister. Kenyatta will, however, retain his post as deputy prime minister. The men are among those accused of helping to organize ethnic violence. VOA's Paul Ndiho has more.
The International Criminal Court says that Kenyan presidential contenders Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto should face trial, along with Francis Muthaura, the head of the civil service, and radio journalist Joshua Sang. Two others, the former police commissioner and opposition politicians, were found not guilty of charges. Mwangi Kimenyi of the Brookings Institution says the ICC's decision is a milestone for Kenya.
All of them are going to appeal, so which means it will be a longer process before we go to the full trial. So we have key people, particularly politicians whose charges were confirmed, and that's significant for the country's politics. And as we move forward, it will be very important.
The ICC's top prosecutor says that he's considering whether the four Kenyans should be tried together or in separate cases, an idea that would have to be approved by the judges.
Now we have judges confirming that the first act of violence committed in Kenya after the elections were planned for months by an organization created and led by some of the ODM party, Mr. Ruto and others. So that's crucially important. They triggered the violence in Kenya.
More than 1,100 people were killed, thousands injured, and many were forcefully displaced in the violence that followed Kenya's December 2007 elections. There were also hundreds of rapes and many properties were destroyed. The two cases involving the politicians are split between the ethnic Kalenjin and Kikuyu camps, as Ruto is Kalenjin and Kenyatta is Kikuyu. Mr. Kimenyi says that President Mwai Kibaki and Prime Minister Raila Odinga must go above ethnic royalties and look at what's important for the country.
To me, what I would have liked to see is that we move fast with whether it's a trial or the appeal process, get the issues done. Then if they're implicated, they don't run for president, they don't serve in office. But at this point, I think it's tricky because, again, you have these coalitions. People think that their communities are being penalized, and that's where, as I have stated before, the president and the prime minister must go above these tribal or ethnic royalties and look what is important for the country to focus on.
The decision by the court, whose proceedings have been closely followed in Kenya, is likely to have far-reaching consequences for the biggest economy in East Africa.
In terms of politics, I would say that what I would really like to see is issues. We are not talking about issues yet. We are talking about which tribe, which people to join. I would have liked someone to come and talk about the youth unemployment, talk about issues of agriculture, talk about our infrastructure issues. But we haven't seen those issues. Those are the type of things we are looking for. People who would come up with a good platform that is issue-based, not ethnic-based, not regional-based.
Analysts say both Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the son of the country's founding president, and William Ruto, a former higher education minister, want to run for president next year. The ICC's decision that they must face trial will no doubt affect those plans. Paul Ndiho, VOA News.